Strange Shadows, a Clark Smith podcast.
Three poems by Clark Ashton Smith. In the desert. I met the night in unfamiliar lands, in realmless desolations drear and far, where no life was, nor any shard remained of tomb or cenotaph. All salient things long since had fled the prone monotony of the null forgetful sands. Here darkness came, directly as a king who mounts the throne of some Cimmerian primogeniture. A waif of day I wandered beneath stars that seemed the unnumbered steely eyes of death, seeking the lost necropoles. A wind rose loudly on the middle night and passed, laden with nameless immemorial dust, the shapeless ghost of empires. In that dark, alien and secret as the heart of death, I knew not if the wind, remembering walls that were great upon its ancient way, sang now their threnody, or if the dust, tongueless itself, found in the shrilling wind a tongue for its regret. I, wandering there, felt but the dust's unseen mysterious kiss, heard but the grievous wind. So have I known lost visions vaguely grasp at memory and fall back unrecalled. Then, laden still with sorrow and the dustiness of eld, stirring the desert dark, the wind went on, to leave its dwindling burden at the feet of splendid morning unendurable. Sinbad, it was not well to brag. Sinbad, the barnacle bill of Araby, carried upon his back the old man of the sea. Over crag, down ravine, round and round in a canebrake green, tramp, tramp, under the coconuts, through the swamp, between the camphors into the swale where the upas dropped its blooms of bough, tangling with the tough rattans, staggering under the hammers of noon over the sands of a steamy lagoon. A crawl with crabs and bêche de mer, lurching through the gamboge glare of sunset into the Damascene twilight, where the tree ferns leaned, chasing a saffron-bellied moon that swayed like a drunken temple girl on beaches paved with coral and pearl, bemoaning his fate like the sad estate of a Baghdad porter, a caliph's flunky, slipping on rotted mangosteens, tripping on jades and tourmalines, sliding on dung of tapir and munghi, startling the bug-eyed lemur, sending the flying fox to a further landing. Nights, days, half-blind in a clotted haze, hayfoot, strawfoot, all in an Indonesian tuffet, till, seeing the vines that ran over rock and tree, he contrived a plan, more clever than rash, and he made in a mighty calabash from the island grapes a vintage new, with bubbles like rubies, clustering thick, and all the strength of an ostrich kick. And the old man sipped the sailor's brew, and swore by Allah's vicar he had never tasted a better liquor, then took the calabash in his talons, and swigged the pints and swilled the gallons, till even the thickest lees were downed, and the grip of his arms and legs grew slack on Sinbad's back. And he slid at last to the jungle ground, happy as a hinny in the clover of June, soused like a sultan, full as any tick that drops from a fat baboon. This was the story that Sinbad told to astonish Hindbad. The story was new, whether fantastic or true. But, granting that your narration was free from extravagation, Sinbad, it was not well to brag at the sunset end of your ocean road. For others have carried a heavier load on aching shoulders a sag, a load that they could not lose. My incubus is the classic hag, yclept the muse. Revenant. I am the spectre who returns unto some desolate world in ruin born afar on the black flowing of Lethean skies. Ever I search in cryptic galleries the void sarcophagi, the broken urns of many a vanished avatar, or haunt the gloom of crumbling pylons vast in temples that enshrine the shadowy past. Viewless, impalpable and fleet, I roam stupendous avenues and greet familiar sphinxes carved from everlasting stone, or the fair brittle gods of long ago, decayed and fallen low. And there I mark the tall Clepsamiae the time has overthrown, an empty clepsydre and dials drowned in umbrage never lifting. And there on rusty parapems I read the ephemerides of antique stars and elder planets drifting oblivionward in night. And there, with purples of the tomb belight, and crowned with funereal gems, I boulder while the throne, whereon my immemorial selves have sate, canopied by the triple-tinted glory of the three suns forever palled and flown. I am the spectre who returns and dwells content with his forlorn estate, in mansions lost and hoary where no lamp burns, who trysts within the sepulchre and finds the ancient shadows lovelier than gardens all emblazoned with sevenfold noon, or topaz-builded towers that throng below some iris-pouring moon. Exiled and homeless in the younger stars, henceforth I shall inhabit that grey clime, whose days belong to primal calendars, nor would I come again back to the garish terrene hours, for I am free of vaults unfathomable and treasures lost from time. With bat and vampire there, I flit through sombre skies immeasurable, or fly down the unending subterranes. Mummied and ceramented I sit in councils of the kingly dead. And oftentimes for vestiture I wear the granite of great idols looming darkly in Atlantean fanes. Or closely now and starkly I cling, as clings the attenuating air about the ruins bare.